The thing about triggers is they're not usually just a singular thing. It's not like somebody clears their throat once and now the person experiences a grizzly bear next to them. It's really more of a repetitive cue that happens.
Oh, interesting. Okay, right. So if I cleared my throat once on this podcast, wouldn't be great. But if it
Right.
was, like you said, a nervous tick, I'm doing it every 2 minutes. At a certain point, the anxiety builds for them.
That's right, because their brain, it's as though their brain is sensing that there's this thing that could happen that is highly unpleasant. And it's their brain is the parts of the brain that are being triggered are probably these very, very kind of what we call bottom up. So automatic, unconscious parts of our brain that are triggered when there's something really unpleasant. And then there's also these what we call top down parts of the brain that are kind of the conscious regulation parts of our brain where we kind of like think about what could happen and we're worried about what might happen. So both of this bottom up and this top down thing might be happening with the person with misophonia where they're anticipating in some ways, this is not PTSD, but in some ways like PTSD where there's an anticipation or a what we would call hypervigilance, almost like a antennae coming out of the head that are sensing and scanning the room, the world around them, waiting, anticipating, and not necessarily by choice, but it's just kind of this automatic thing that's happening. They're waiting to see, will the trigger happen again? And this attention that gets really disruptively focused on potential triggers is part of what makes us debilitating.